So my grandmother made me this Jedi robe back in 1999, and it still fits. I was in 6th grade then, I'm 26 years old now, and I still wear the same Jedi robe. I just realized how sad that sounds. So this past weekend, it was announced that Marvel will become the publisher of Star Wars comics beginning in 2015. This really shouldn't be a surprise. Ever since Disney bought Lucasfilm and the Star Wars rights in 2012, it's been a question of when Marvel will make Star Wars comics, not if Marvel will make Star Wars comics, since Disney also owns Marvel. It's still kind of sad, because since 1991, Dark Horse has been the sole publisher of Star Wars. And they really have gone to great lengths to give us some of the best and most imaginative extended universe stories out there. More than the video games and even the novels, Dark Horse has kept our favorite characters alive and extended the universe with all sorts of tales. Not every story they put out was a masterpiece. Agent of the Empire wasn't very interesting to me, and Blood Ties, Boba Fett is dead, wasn't really into all that much. But when it was good, and often it was very good, it added so much to mythology in ways never seen before. The original Dark Emperor trilogy came out around the same time as the Thrawn trilogy of novels by Timothy Zahn, and both really kickstarted the whole extended universe concept. And it's pretty much become my mission to make sure people who like Star Wars are reading Brian Wood's current Star Wars title, because it is as close to the original trilogy as anybody has ever come. Hell, Dark Horse has even been willing to toy with our very idea of Star Wars. They released the Infinity Comics, which told what-if stories, like what if Luke didn't blow up the Death Star in A New Hope, or what if Luke died on Hoth in Empire Strikes Back, or what if C-3PO malfunctioned in Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi? Because you can't always pick on Luke Skywalker. I mean, he did bring balance to the galaxy. Currently, Dark Horse is putting out The Star Wars, an 8-issue miniseries based on George Lucas's original draft for the first movie. It's different. That's all I can really say about it, is that it's different. But back on topic. Now that Marvel has the license, what does this mean for Star Wars comics in general? Well, Marvel was the original publisher of Star Wars comics from 77 to about 91, so they have history with the property. But in all honesty, their history with the property is kind of spotty. They did weird stuff back then. They introduced Jabba the Hutt before his debut in Return of the Jedi, and he looked like some humanoid walrus guy with... yeah. Also, they made Han Solo team up with a 6-foot-tall green bunny rabbit. The 70s were weird, man. But the Marvel of yesterday is not the Marvel of today. They've evolved and they handle their licensed comics much differently now. They've received a lot of critical acclaim for their works based on Stephen King's Dark Tower series, and also the Scotty Young drawn Wizard of Oz series. Side note, I'm still missing my copy of Dark Tower Gunslinger Born. You know who you are. That said, Marvel definitely doesn't push their licensed comics like they do their own titles. Maybe because it's Star Wars and it's the biggest property, and because it's owned by the same parent company, things will be different. But right now, they're not putting out any comics with any other Disney characters, unlike DC, who's currently putting out Looney Tunes and Scooby-Doo books monthly. Also, Dark Horse is able to reprint and republish the original Marvel era Star Wars comics in like collections and omnibuses. So here's hoping that Marvel does the same thing with the Dark Horse era comics. This way those stories don't get lost to time. I want to read The Purge, and if that goes missing, I'm not going to be a happy fan. In conclusion, it's sad to see the Dark Horse era end, but we should definitely be optimistic for this new Marvel era. Who knows? Maybe they'll get Patton Oswalt to do that Star Wars Avengers crossover he pitched on Parks and Rec. That would be nuts. That's it for me this week. Like if you like, subscribe if you really like, leave comments, share with your friends. This is actually a really hot robe. I'll see you next time. 1. This is the first and only time we see the Batmobile in this story, and even the sequel, Dark Victory.
Nothing happened until the last half an hour of a movie, and then everybody's just, oh,
Yeah.
and then getting dragged and stuff. Well, it wasn't happening.